Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. This is Police Corporal Candidato Ridhwan Mangandog, and I am the assigned reporter for the history of public administration under PE 100. First and foremost, I am asking for an apology for the presentation that I have provided, because the application in my computer laptop is not compatible with the application in my cell phone. Okay, let me start. Public administration is the implementation of government policy and also an academic discipline that studies this implementation and prepares civil principles for working in the public service. It is a field of inquiry with a diverse scope, whose fundamental goal is to advance management and policies so that government can function. It involves the policies and procedures, laws that the government is established to effectively function the working force of a certain organization or the government. Some of the various definitions which have been offered for the term are the management of public programs, the translation of politics into the reality that citizens see every day. It is more concerned on how the politicians or what the policies and guidelines in politics should be put into its realization in order for the citizens to uh, realize the effective and usefulness of the platforms given, or the laws uh, formulated by their leaders. And the study of government decision making, the analysis of the policies themselves, the various inputs that have produced them, and the inputs necessary to produce alternative policies. In these alternative policies, for example, uh, in the Philippine National Police, when the Patrol Plan 2030, I think most of you has an idea of Patrol Plan 2033, wherein we are in 2030 we are a highly and capable police force in the country, establishing a uh, uh, establishing a good and rapport uh, communication with the people around us, uh, having the dignity and worth as a public servant. So in if this Patrol Plan 2030 would not succeed, then we should go on the alternative one to make our dreams and goals, the objectives of the Philippine National Police be realized. The next one is public administration is centrally concerned with the organization of government policies and programs, as well as the behavior of officials, usually non-elected, formally responsible for their conduct. In the Philippine National Police, we have the chief PNP. We have a chain of command, wherein the chief PNP chief has the uh, uh, sole responsibility and accountability to manage his subordinate. For example, in the central office, wherein Camp Crame, the policies and procedures, as well as the laws being implemented uh, there should be also followed by the lower units. For example, from national headquarter to uh, lower headquarter. Many non-elected public employees can be considered to be public administrators, including heads of city, county, regional, state, and federal departments such as municipal budget, directors, human resources administrators, city managers, census managers, state, and so on and so forth. This is uh, These these are the people considered as public administrator who are in task or who are tasked to uh, they are tasked to ensure that the policies and procedures are being implemented fairly to the community. In the United States, civil employees and academics such as Woodrow Wilson promoted civil service reform in the 1880s, moving public administration into academia. Uh, However, until the mid-20th century and the dissemination of the German sociologist Max Weber's theory of bureaucracy, there was not much interest in a theory of public administration. The field is multidisciplinary in character. It is multidisciplinary in character because uh, in the public administration, we have pillars to be followed. For example, it includes human resources, how the how the public administrators should align his staff or employees into a more suitable what do you call this, more suitable uh, area of expertise. For example, ako bilang isang pulis, kung ang expertise ko is in more on investigation, then I should be placed on the investigation section in order for me to be effective and efficient in doing my job. Organizational theory, it talks about the policies and procedures being implemented. uh, Policy analysis, of course, the how the policies be put into action or be analyzed. Statistics, the it includes the number of personnel in the Philippine National Police, the number of uh, equipments, materials, buildings used, vehicles, firearms. These are examples. Budgeting, of course, it involves the money, the budget. Uh, a certain organization like PNP could not properly establish a working relations with each other. For example, tawag dito, I'm sorry, yung tao na nakapalibot sa PNP is hindi magsa-succeed sa pag-implement ng kanilang trabaho kapag sa monetary expenses is hindi maganda yung pagkaka-budget. And ethics, in ethics naman, ito yung how the ethical standard of a certain organization the ethical standard and values be followed or be put into action. In 1947, Paul H. Appleby defined public administration as public leadership of public affairs directly responsible for executive action. Ang kay Paul H. Appleby is directly responsible for executive action. Ang public administration daw is more on a responsibility and accountability for executive action. For example, they are the people involved in the public administration should be liable for the execution of the policies and laws of the organization. In a democracy, it has to do with such leadership and executive action in terms that respect and contribute to the dignity, the worth, and the potentials of the citizen. Halimbawa sa ating country, kung saan we are a democratic country. So the president should respect and contribute to the dignity, the worth, and the potentials of the citizen. 1 year later, Gordon Clapp, then chairman of the Tennis Valley Authority, defined public administration as a public instrument whereby democratic society may be more completely realized. Okay. This implies that it must relate itself to concept of justice, liberty, and fuller economic opportunity for human beings, and is thus concerned with people, with ideas, and with things. As you can read in this presentation, I hope kahit hindi ko ma-explain is alam ko naman na alam ninyo to. So, let us proceed. According to James D. Carroll and Alfred M. Zack, the publication by Woodrow Wilson of his essay, The Study of Administration in 1887, a specific field of study. We can discuss this in the below portion of this presentation. Drawing on the democracy theme and discarding the link to the executive branch, Patricia M. Shields asserts that public administrations deals with the stewardship and implementation of the products of a living democracy. Okay. The key term product refers to those items that are constructed or produced, such as prisons, roads, laws, schools, and security. As implementors, public managers engage these products. They participate in the doing and making of the living democracy. A very good example of this is the present situation wherein the President of the Republic of the Philippines started the renovation or the reconstruction of the seashore of the Manila Bay, na kung saan gusto niyang i-beautify ito para magamit ng future generation at saka maging isang tourist spot. The key term, a living democracy is an environment that is changing, organic, imperfect, inconsistent, and teeming with values. Stewardship is emphasized because public administration is concerned with accountability and effective use of scarce resources, and ultimately making the connection between the doing, the making, and democratic values. It involves the relationship of the citizen and the public administrators, wherein they both work hand in hand to accomplish a certain product or a certain goals. Halimbawa na lamang, the Philippine National Police and the community should help each other to maintain peace and order in the community, and hinder or stop the violence done by the criminals by giving them or teaching them how they could interact with the criminals in times na gagawa sila ng mga katarantaduhan or krimen sa sa kanilang paligid. The North American Industry Classification System, definition of the public administration. Mayroon tayo rito, as you can see, basahin nyo na lamang po kung may time kayo. This includes legislative activities, taxation, national defense, public order and safety, immigration services, foreign affairs and international assistance, and administration of government programs or activities that are purely governmental in nature. Kung makikita ninyo, lahat ng pamamalakad ng ating gobyerno is it is a public administration. Kasali sa ipinapaunawa sa atin ng public administration. Kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng public administration. Legislative activities, ito yung it talks about the laws being formulated by the legislators, taxation, ito yung pagbigay ng tax, buwis, national defense, kasama na niya dyan ang PNP, ang Army, public order and safety, immigration services, foreign affairs, yan, and so on and so forth. From the academic perspective, the National Center for Educational Statistics in the United States defines the study of public administration as a program that prepares individuals to serve as managers in the executive arm of local, state, and federal government, and that focuses on a systematic study of executive organization and management, includes instruction in the roles, development, and principles of public administration, the management of public policy, executive legislative relations, public budgetary processes and financial management and administration law, public personnel management, professional ethics and research methods. Nakasaklaw na rito kung ano ang dapat nating matutunan sa public administration. As you can see, lahat na ginagawa sa isang organization, halimbawa sa Philippine National Police, is it is considered as part of public administration. The public administration can be traced back in the following time, wherein different individuals, countries, and famous personalities were involved in the evolution of public administration. Like for example in India in the 600 BCE, wherein Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, it is a culture which is a very disciplined community in terms of laws, religion, and fighting opponents or enemy. They were skilled in making laws, religions, and the fight back to the colonizers or their enemy. The second one is antiquity to the 19th century, wherein it involves the pharaoh, kings, and emperors, kung saan the treasurers and tax collectors were administered to practical business of government. For example, meron silang sinasabing spoil system na kung saan hindi ito maganda. Halimbawa na lamang hindi ka ma-hired or may lagay sa posisyon bilang isang public administrator kung hindi ka kamag-anak. Nandiyan ang nepotism, favoritism, halimbawa hindi ka paborito, and political patronage, halimbawa walang hindi ka halimbawa kasali sa kanilang o tumutulong sa kanilang grupo, is hindi ka basta-basta malalagay sa kanilang sa katungkulan na gusto mong makuha. For example, in the staffing pattern, hindi ka malalagay sa kanilang staffing pattern. It is in the human resources. These public administrators sa time na to is they become the eyes and ears of the pharaoh, kings, and emperors. The third one is the 18th century, wherein King Frederick William I of Prussia evolved. Ang sa kanya naman is he created professorates and cameralism in an effort to train a new class of administrators. He emphasized the economic and social disciplines. Ang sa kanya naman kay King Frederick William I of Prussia is kung paano palalaguin ang kanilang ekonomiya at saka ang social disciplines, pakikipag halubilo, pakikipag talastasan, pakikipag-usap sa kanilang pamayanan. Meron din tayong 1885 kung saan si Lawrence von Stein, German professor from Vienna, was coined as the founder of the science of public administration. Bakit? Because he was coined as the founder of the public administration in many parts of the world because he relies on many disciplines such as katulad din ng sociology, pinag-aralan niya ang pamayanan, political science, how the politics should act in a way that they could be considered as effective and efficient and reliable leaders. It talks about the theory and the application of the science of public administration. Okay. Meron tayong 1887 kung saan lumabas si Woodrow Wilson. He was considered, kanina nakita natin, sinabi ko, he was considered as the father of public administration in 1887 because he studied the administration, and he advocate and wrote the four concepts. Meron siya, hindi ko na po nalagay, pero basahin natin. Meron tayong separation of politics and administration, kung saan ang isa sa advocacy niya is the separation of politics and administration, the comparative analysis of political and private organization. Then the third one is improving efficiency with business-like practices and attitude towards daily operations. And the fourth one is improving the effectiveness of public service through manager and by training civil servants, merit-based assessment. Okay, in 1940 lumabas in US Luther Gulick 1892-1993, kung saan ito yung isa sa magagandang naiambag sa public administration. In 1950s to the 1970, mayroon tayong US war, kung saan most part of the world had been conquered or colonized by the United States of America. Okay, meron tayong 1980s, 1990s, kung saan lumabas si David Osborne and Ted Gibler. Meron tayong tinatawag na new theory, new public management, kung saan it is the new model advocated the use of private sector style models, organizational ideas and values to improve the efficiency and service orientation of the public sector. So ang kabuuan, ang buod ng ating ng aking report is the public administration relies how the public administrators do their work. Halimbawa sa Philippine National Police, hindi magiging successful ang organization kung hindi maganda ang pamamalakad ng isang administrator or the manager, the leaders, na hindi rin siya tinutulungan ng kanyang mga subordinates. Kung makikita natin sa Philippine National Police kung ano ang utos, kung ano ang policies na pinapatupad sa Philippine National Police Krame, National Headquarters, is yun din ang susundin namin. Pero meron din tayong case-to-case basis na kung saan may mga certain cultures and tradition na hindi po pwedeng buwagin o hindi pwedeng masagasaan ng isang batas. Kaya kailangan din nating set aside minsan. Kaya nandyan ang mga alternatives na binibigay ng ating organization. Muli, ako po si Police Corporal Candidato Ridhwan Mangandog. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig at pasensya na kung mayroong hindi kayo naintindihan sa aking report. Naway i-reconsider or consider nyo na lamang yon bilang ako po ay isang tao lamang at saka estudyante rin ako katulad niyo. Maraming salamat at magandang araw.